Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel Trading Secrets. This channel is for entertainment purposes only. For those of you who do not know, my name is Ali. I have over 20 years experience teaching accounting, economics, business and law. Through this channel I'll be providing some stock analysis and a quick update on the $1 Million Challenge. If anybody's not aware of this, this is a journey with investment of $1,000 to a return of $1 million over a period of 3 years using a strategy called compound return investing. So the objective is try to get 201 trades, each with an average return of 3.5%. It's not 201 consecutive trades, we do take into account losses. So for further details about how to join us for less than $9 a month, information is available in the description below. Today's video I'm going to be following on with the previous videos where we've been looking at AST and the updates in terms of the share imbalance and also potential evidence of this that could come to light hopefully very soon. And I'm going to be looking at DOLE Foods and what happened with their stock and when the company went private, and there was also evidence of a share imbalance. Then I'm also going to be sharing with you 3 stocks that are from the NYSE that have been beating the S&P500, so stay tuned for that. Before we get started, let's have a look at what's happening in the market. So first headline from Market Watch, which is positive, and it states there are 5 reasons why US stocks will likely rally into the end of 2023, says one of the Wall Street veterans. So what he's basically saying here is, number one, the markets do believe now that the Fed has done in terms of tightening of the monetary policy, and in terms of interest rates, we're probably looking at stable interest rates now and longer term hopefully coming down. Number 3, stronger earnings. Number 4, obviously strong seasonal trends, which are obviously we're moving into Christmas. And number 5, improving sentiment. In other news, what I'd like to share with you here is, obviously I'm sure you're all aware of FTX and Sam Bankman-Fried. So headline here from Fox Business, the founder Sam Bankman-Fried's biggest fear in jail has been revealed. So let's have a look at what his biggest fear in jail here, and we can see here, third paragraph down, if you gave Sam Bankman-Fried the choice of living in a $39 million penthouse in the Bahamas with no internet or sitting in jail with internet, he would take the jail. So that obviously says quite a lot about what kind of person Sam Bankman-Fried was. And finally, we had a week of earnings last week, and following on this week, again another huge week of earnings, and we can see stocks being called include Oxy, Uber, Roblox, AMC, Plug, and also many others. First thing I'd like to do is give an update in terms of FOIA requests. So shout out here to Bigfoot, who stated my FOIA questions, and he encourages investors to apply pressure through FOIA, and these are some of the references he's indicated. So specifically he's saying we could ask for information pertaining to who or what entity or what parties initially requested and authorized FINRA with regard to the U3 halt. What date did the SEC initiate the investigation into the MMTLP trading halt? And an interesting one here is, why did Ari Rubenstein step down from his position at FINRA, and why has he been removed from the FINRA website, whereas we can see on Ari Rubenstein's GTS website it still states that he works closely with FINRA. Is the SEC aware of illegal manipulation in the stock? We know that there was one of the FOIA releases did state that they were investigating or aware of fraud. And finally, is the SEC aware of market makers using dark pool stock purchases to manipulate current trading stocks in favor of the perpetrators? So again, interesting set of questions here. So next shout out here is to Torch R, and it states here, the AI table here summarizes the direct and indirect losses from the 5 biggest fraud cases in US history. So at the moment MMTLP is not on this, but it may come on once we get our proof. But we can see here currently in first position is Bernie Madoff, total losses just in excess of 82 billion. And the new entry at number 5 is Mr. Sam Bankman-Fried, where it states he was responsible for fraud of $8.8 billion. And lastly, shout out here to Gandalf, who stated, get this guy on our team ASAP if there's any way to reach out. And maybe he could solve the MMTLP issue. So we need someone with fresh blood, and the shout out here is to US Attorney Damian Williams. So anybody who's a buddy of Damian, tell him our story. What now I'd like to do is have a look at the share imbalance situation that happened with DOLE Foods. So shout out here to one of the members in the Discord who stated what was the result of the DOLE share imbalance and what did the shareholders get. So we're going to have a look at this. So let's start by giving a shout out here to Pedro, who stated, should be obvious to everyone now that MMTLP is another DOLE Foods. If anyone doesn't know the story, they should, as it is another example in terms of the regulators 100% knowing that there is a massive counterfeiting problem, and this was a long time ago. So let's have a look at the post. We can see here it states a 2013 lawsuit involving DOLE Foods showed that they had 12 million more shares than originally thought, exposing a weakness in the market system. So this is a question I added into AI, and the question was, what happened in the 2013 DOLE Food lawsuit? We can see here the CEO took the company private in a $1.2 billion buyout. Several investors filed a class action alleging that Murdoch and his lieutenants had undervalued the company in order to buy it more cheaply. So we know MMTLP has also gone private in a similar situation, and then also another similar situation we are also alleging a share imbalance. So in this case here, 2015, there was a judge that found Murdoch and his lieutenant had actually indeed manipulated the sale process and had also undervalued DOLE. So the judge ordered them to pay the shareholders $148 million in damages. We're going to look at a breakdown of that shortly as well. 2017, investors then settled for $400 million, making it one of the largest awards ever to shareholders in a deal-related lawsuit. So let's now have a look at what happened in terms of the imbalance, and we can see here headline: DOLE Food stock blunder makes a case for blockchain. So the 2013 case, we know there was 12 million more shares than the stock originally thought they had, exposing a weakness. And at the time, we're looking at just in excess of 36.7 million shares, ending up being 49.1 million shares. And I'm sure the MMTLP situation is going to be much bigger in terms of an imbalance. And finally, let's have a look at what breakdown of the settlement from New York Times. We can see here former DOLE shareholders, after the judgment and after the agreement, will receive $2.74 a share, a nice chunk of change in addition to the $13.50 a share originally paid in the deal. Still, because the share obviously on a downside, because of the shareholder ownership system, some of those shareholders may not have gotten the money. So there is going to be winners and there is going to be losers in these kind of situations. And the reason is that while shareholders may think they own the shares they buy, they may not. So obviously we're talking potentially about synthetic shares and that problem also. So market in many ways is open, it's transparent, it's underpinned by a system of share ownership, but the reality is that this is not happening. Who can we blame and who can we ask questions to? Well, the SEC and FINRA certainly have a lot to answer for. I'd like to finish off by sharing with you 3 stocks that beat in the S&P 500 for 2023 year to date. And in the Discord in our DD channel, we actually shared 8 stocks. So I'm going to be looking at 3 of those 8 stocks. So the first one here is ticker symbol FIX, also known as Comfort Systems USA. So in terms of a catalyst for this particular stock, this is a provider of heating, ventilation and air conditioning. The company has benefited with strong demand for its services in both residential and commercial markets. So let's have a look at the chart for the year to date. We can see here currently trading at $187.81, and in the year to date up a very healthy 60.38%. And the second one I'd like to share with you is ticker symbol PWR, also known as Quanta Services Incorporated. This is a provider of infrastructure services, including electric power transmission and distribution, telecommunications, pipeline construction. And the company, in terms of catalyst, has also benefited from more spending on infrastructure projects in the USA. So let's have a look at how the chart has performed in 2023. So we can see here it is up in excess of 20.3%, and I think at one point it was up much higher with a little bit of a decline September, but it looks like it's showing signs of recovery right now. So the third one I'm going to share with you is ticker symbol APO, also known as Apollo Global Management. This is a leading alternative asset manager company. The company has also benefited from strong performance in its private equity, credit and real estate businesses. So let's have a look at the chart for APO, and we can see here again for the year to date 2023, it's up in excess of 30.38%, and again looking like it's in good momentum right now. So if you would like to get the full access to the full list of all stocks, as well as getting access to our weekly watch list, which will be shared prior to trading on a Monday, you can join us. Details are in the description below. Thank you very much for watching. Please stay tuned.